Hi, Tracy.
Nick Mason choosing the tracks of ideas. All this will make you feel fabulous. No, the best thing of all? Yes, it's coming too. It's Popmaster. Radio 2 on the BBC Sound.
How are you this morning, Tracy? I hope you're well. I hope you enjoyed the team meeting last night. It was good fun, wasn't it? So it was a good way to see everybody when we can't, meet up together. I'm just going to finish my coffee and then we'll get started. Right, good morning everybody. So, hi Baz. Welcome to our coffee and card session this morning. It is Wednesday morning. And I think it's, it's the 15th of April. I had to think about that. But Wednesday the 15th of April. And it's beautifully sunny outside. So I've had to shut my blinds because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing. Hi Molly. So I hope this is bright enough for you to see. So yesterday evening I had an online team meeting with some lovely members of my Creative Gems team. So they are demonstrators that are with Stampin' Up in my team, either as hobby demos because they're buying for themselves at a discount, or because they're business demos running it as a business. Hi Babsy, hi Marie and Molly too. So I've been following a lovely lady called Ruth Trice, Trice, on Facebook and on YouTube, and she has a really nice style of doing a one sheet wonder, which is where you stamp a whole sheet and then cut it up and make it into multiple cards. And I've been looking at her style for a long time. Hi Jacqueline. And thinking I really must give this a go because I love the design that she does. So I challenged myself to have a go at this live last night, and I invited my team members, some of whom are here today. So Barbara, Marie and Tracy, to have a go at the same time. And we had a great time. It was a really nice style. So this is not normally, hi Louise, what I would do at Coffee and Card. But you know when you've tried something new and you think, I just want to have another go. So this is why we're doing it today. This would normally be something we would probably do in class, but I was just so excited. So if you want full details on how to create this type of card, you want to go to Ruth Trice, and her business name is Artful Stampin. Oh, hi Louise, hi Babsy, ARTFUL, and then Stampin without the G. You'll find her on YouTube, and there's lots of tutorials on there. So this is only my actually third go, because I did have another go late last night. This is only my third go, so I am absolutely a novice at this style. But do hop and see Ruth on Artful Stampin, and you can get the full-blown tutorial. So let me show you the cards that I made from last night. So it's a mixture of stamps, so really use any stamps that you've got. I particularly obviously favour the florals and things like this, but you could do it with any set of images. You want something fairly soft and a mixture of large and small sizes of stamp. So these are the finished cards. So I've done this one here. Hi Marlene. I've got this one here. So these are all made from one sheet of A4 card. So I'll show you how it comes together and then I'll just get stamping. Morning, Rebecca. There's this one here. So I've just used different sentiments. And then this one. So a complete mix. Let me show you how they start off, and then I'll start from scratch. So I tried to piece this back together again. So basically you start off with an A4 piece of card in my case. Obviously you can vary the size. You could do a 12 by 12 sheet. You could do a smaller sheet. So what I've done is I stamped the whole sheet and then cut it up to make the cards. Now you need to do a few of these, I feel, to get a feel for the type of layout that you like. So on these ones I've stamped almost all the way over the card, which means when it comes to sentiments you'll probably need to put the sentiments on a layer. On the ones that I did last night, not in all cases, but I left some space around the edges. Not all of them, but some of them, as you can see. So I'm going to try and remember to do that today. Okay, so we're going to start with an A4 piece of card and a selection of stamps. Choose the colours and off we go. So I've done blues, that's my team colours, as you may know. I did yellow and browns yesterday, so today I'm going to do pink. I don't know if you've followed any of Ruth's work, Louise. It's definitely worth looking out for. So I've got a selection of stamps here, and they are from Very Versailles, which is always a good stamp for a background. You've got this words, you've got this nice little scroll image, some background there, and this nice patterned leaf. I've also used Beautiful Friendship. This is a really popular one to use with this design of card. And then also Woven Heirlooms, because you've got some nice twiddly bits and some background pieces. Yeah, you have to go check her out, Louise. I tell you, she's very it's very addictive. So basically you're going to start with an A4 piece. I hope everybody can see that. It's a little bit close to the edge there, isn't it? So, but you'll get the idea. And Marlene, lovely to see you. So this piece of card is going to be cut like so. So what I'm going to do is concentrate my image in this piece here, so that when I cut it up I've got some white space around the edge, if that makes any sense. And I've got a selection of pinks. So I've got Petal Pink, Rococo Rose, Pear Pizzazz, a little bit of Soft Suede. Well, I'm not very good at the arty stuff, Louise, but this is really, really good fun. Melon Mambo, Sahara Sand, Early Espresso. So just grab a selection of inks that you have. I'm going to start with this one. So what I'm going to do is sort of create myself a cross. That's going to be my sort of centre part. Don't worry too much about where you're going to cut it at the minute. Just get stamping, and the more you stamp, the better it becomes. So I'm just using Pear Pizzazz here, and I'm just going to, and you don't have to be, you don't want to be too accurate. You don't want to sort of make it a definitive cross. Actually, I'm going to start it from the inside. So I'm just going to put one in that direction. Oh, that's okay. Now, Bridie has done quite a lot of this style of card, because she's been following Ruth for a lot longer than I have. So I'm hoping Bridie might do one of these on her coffee and cards, really. Let's just come in here. So I'm just creating a sort of central panel that I'm then going to build up and work around. Like so. I'll just ink that last one up. Could have gone a bit lighter actually. It's probably for a change. I've actually got some ink in my papers house. Okay, so I've got some ground leaves on there. I'm then going to introduce some flowers. So I've got some little roses and a big rose. So I'm going to start with the bigger rose in start it in petal pink. So I have cleaned these off, hopefully. So I'm just literally going to overlay. So we're not going to do any masking like we did the other day. Oh yes, I need to put a mat underneath. Bear with me. Well, let me know when you're going to go live and do one. That would be really nice, Bridie. Bridie's done some lovely samples. So I've just added the mat underneath because that was a bit... I've got quite a hard work surface here, so I can make that one work. Hi Kim! So Kim is another one on my team, and she had a go last night. So I'm just inking this up. Making sure, because I've got the mat underneath, making sure I don't go off the edge of the mat. Like so. I am thinking that green might be a bit too dark, but let's see. I'm going to introduce some darker colours anyway. There we go. So I'm just turning it round. And then basically all you want to do is start filling in all of the little gaps. So let's take a rose, and this is a Rococo rose. Let me just grab a piece of paper. I just want to see what colour this is. Oh, that's fine. I just don't want it too dark. So this is Rococo Rose, and it's a lovely stamp, isn't it, Marlene? I don't know if it's one of the ones that you've got or not. It is very nice stamp set. So this is all from Beautiful Friendship. This is all looking a bit too symmetrical, isn't it? Sorry, girls. So, and then what you can start to do is add in additional stamps where it's going lighter, if that makes any sense. So you've got second and third generation stamping. So you're just filling in some of those little gaps. You'll hardly see it. And then what have I got here? So I've got some where are they? Little leaves here. There we go. And I think I'm going to use pear, but I'm going to stamp it off because I want it a little bit lighter. I feel that pear of the leaves is a bit overpowering. Hi Jan. You're not live this morning, Jan? So I'm just going to stamp that one off. Hi Lynn. Just stamping off on my piece of paper. There we go. I definitely feel that is too dark. But let us see, we might get away with it. I've now, oh that's okay. I'm now going to use the one that's like a little wisteria. I'm going to use that in a different pink. I'm going to use that in Melon Mambo. Don't apologise, Jen. Are you taking a break just for today or all week? There we go, perfect. Let me wipe that down. is Melon Mambo. I'm just going to add in. And I'm trying to remember not to go too far so that when I cut this piece up, I've got plenty of white space. Let me just take that off. Now I'm not doing that large rose. Oh, hi Helen. So I'm just adding these in. See what difference that makes now. Just balancing that out a little bit. Sound like I know what I'm talking about. I honestly don't, girls. Having only tried it for the first time yesterday. It's all a bit Heath Robinson, as they would say. So, but if you've got some nice delicate stamps, it makes a real difference. Hi Lisa. It is really pretty, isn't it? The stamp's doing all the work, I have to say, not me. So let's have a little bit of infill in here. So I've got some little crisscrosses here from Healing Hugs that I did yesterday. So I'm just going to add some of those in, just to soften that slightly, like so. And then I've got the little, oh sorry, you can't see that one, it hasn't got a label on, a little scroll, which I'm going to do in soft suede, I think. So really, anything goes. If I did this one again, I would probably take that pear down to a lighter colour. But I might be able to just use the edges and therefore you won't see as much. So basically you're just building your picture, filling in any gaps. So one thing I learnt is the more little gaps you fill up, the better. And it can be with anything. So this is the leaf that I've used yesterday. So let's just do one more with that. And let's use Sahara sand. And then we'll see how it looks. Now the nice thing is once you've cut it up, you can of course add a little bit. So if you've got a glaring gap or anything, you can add into that. So these leaves are my favourite leaves ever. So just a little bit Sahara sand, like so. And it's amazing that, well, I was going to say it doesn't look like anything now. Morning Tara, hopefully it'll look like something in a minute. So if not, I can do another one anyway. So just adding those little bits and pieces in. Let's do that. So just getting rid of any white space. So I'm just sort of visually looking at that bit, thinking that will work. That will work, but I don't like that bit particularly. That one works and that one works. So let's cover over a little bit of those crosses so they're not quite, they don't quite go. Okay, last addition then, I think I'm going to add, what am I going to add? Might add this little thing here, which is actually the centre of the flower, so I could actually go back in and put centres in the flowers, but I'm just going to use that one to soften some of those little crosses. Where did I put the stamp? There it is. And I'm going to do that in the Rococo as well, I think, and then we'll have a look and see what that looks like. Sorry, I only caught the end of your live this morning, Tara. So if anybody wants to watch another demonstrator, Tara does her Facebook Live, and Marie, and Jen Bucklow, Bridie. So there's lots of us to choose from. There we go. Let's have a look and see what that looks like. So what I'm going to do is cut this up. Let me move the inks out of the way. Grab my trimmer. So there's my panel. Oh, thank you, Linda. So I start by just cutting this into quarters. Literally. Just into quarters. That's going to be my starting point. So it's 10.5 centimetres by 14.8. Okay, and then I have a look and see what I've got. So I've got this one here. I've got this one. This one. And this one. So this one I like as is, but I might add a little bit in there. This one I'm going to leave as it is. I might add a little bit in there. And again here, I'm just going to bring this down. So this is where you can go back in and add. And in fact, although it looked, to me, it looked quite messy and detailed with this green, what I'm actually going to do for this one is chop a little bit that off and then add any extra bits and pieces in. So let us do that. So where I've got a lot of white space, I can chop that off. So I'm taking off 1 centimetre. So basically you can choose the best part of that you want. Thank you, Marlene. As I say, it's the stamp that does the work, isn't it? But if you'd said to me stamp in that corner, I would have really struggled. So there's one. This one here. Oh, that could also work that way around, look, couldn't it? So let's cut off the white. So this is just using our Stampin' Up trimmer. Cut off that little bit there. There we go. So that will be our second one. Let's grab those two from underneath. So it's definitely something to practice, but having said that, even though I wasn't really happy to start with this, I'm happy with the way that it's actually turned out. So don't look at it without cutting it down, because it makes a real difference. So can you see, because I've taken that, you know, that big part of the stalk and the end piece off, that makes a real difference to that. I hope you can see that all right in the light. And then this one here, I might actually keep that nice and light. There we go. So I picked up an assortment of card blanks to put on. There we go. And then this one here. Voila. So now what I can do is look at each one and decide if I want to add something. So I'm not happy about this little bit of crisscross here, so I'm going to add something else in there. I think I might add this little rose flower in the pink, and then that will cover that up. So this is Melon Mambo. So I really recommend get yourself a whole bunch. I mean, it works well with florals, but you can do it with all sorts of things. You can do it with men's cards. Actually, I might do that in Rococo Rose, sorry. Just grab yourself a bunch of stamps, a bunch of inks that go together, and just get stamping. But I really do recommend you go and have a look at Ruth's YouTube, the Artful Stampin without the G, because she'll go through the technique in a lot more detail. I'm just literally showing you me playing. Yes, I know it does, doesn't it, Tara? So you could, as Tara says, you could change that one to be bottom right hand side. Oh, dinosaurs. Tara's done it with dinosaurs. So you can make a real difference to your card. Just going to stamp that off. So I've got a lighter rose there. This rosebud is so pretty. And you can just, if you've got any sort of very light gaps, just keep stamping. It doesn't matter that you can't see the full design, you're just filling it in. Like so. So can you see now I've sort of covered up that crisscross that didn't work as well. And I'm just going to put a little rose on that corner. Like so. There we go. So to that one I'm going to add a sentiment. I still want to get rid of that little bit, sorry. It's going to annoy me. That's better. So you can't see. There we go. So it just softens the whole thing up. So that's that one there, and let's do the other one, then I'll do all the sentiments together. So this one here could work coming down like that, although I've got my flowers sitting like that. So all I'm going to do for this one is just add that little bit in there, and I'm going to use that nice rosebud. Now I've got this Rococo rose there, so I'm just going to take it lighter and then just stamp a little bit all over, just so that any white gaps are filled in with the ink. Like so, and I've got more of those crosses. Let's just pop that in there. Like so. There we go. So it gets a really soft effect. Hope you can see that okay. I just want to put a little bit of green in that corner, so I'm just going to put the leaves in there and there, just at the top to make it finish off balanced. Let's do them in the Sahara. There we go. Now you can do these in really bright colours. For those of you that know my stamping style, it's quite muted and quite clean and crisp. So this is quite, although I'm still muted colours, it's quite a change for me from that point of view. Okay, happy with that one. Let's have a look at the next one here. I need to cut that down, that's not the right size. Just going to take that from that edge there. And obviously you can make different size cards. This would be really nice to make square cards with as well. So I'm just going to put something in that corner because I want to balance that across there. Yeah, I'm quite a subtle person, Marlene. There we go. Let's add that in, add a little bit of greenery perhaps in there. Let's just add, I've got these 3 little leaves, and I'm going to put those leaves in too. So what you could do when you're looking at the image is you could sort of either draw a line or score your card into quarters, and then you'll know sort of how far along. So what I would now do, if I was doing it again, is if that's my line, have it coming out to the end and then down. So you've got, you know, quite a definitive cross shape. Hi Brenda. So let's do that in the green. It's just so pretty, but I think the stamp set sets it off as well. So just grab some ink pads, some stamps, and get stamping. As I say, do hop over to Ruth's YouTube or Facebook. She has a Facebook group as well that you can join that's got lots of ideas in. And I'm just going to put a little something in here, I think. Like that, and a bit of pink. That's what I want. It reminds me of a sort of Italian or a French bougainvillea and stuff, where it all sort of hangs down. Let's just add that in here. So some of these are actually centres of flowers, but I'm just using them, and then you can just literally fill in any bits of white gap. So it's very much a shabby chic style. If you go to Ruth's page, it says, you know, shabby chic. That's the sort of look that we've got here. That's that one. And then the last one here. It would actually work that way, apart from I've got that odd leaf sitting there. So let's connect the leaf to something. I think it might have to go that way actually for a change. So let's put so this is where you can have just, you know, a bit of fun. It's like taking a bit of designer paper, really, and then adding to it, isn't it? There we go. And I'm going to have another one of those flowers just there. So this is Rococo Rose, so I'm just going to ink this one and stamp it off once. I hope that's all in view of you lovely ladies. I'm going to put that there, like so. There we go. That just sort of fills in that little gap there. Let's put one on the edge. There we go. So completely different look now. I've cut that down, got rid of the dark green that was annoying me. What I did want to show you, which I think it was on Ruth's page, which was you can stamp onto patterned paper to start with as well. So that would be really effective. So I might just do a block of that so you can see if you want to put up with me that long. Right, let me pop these onto some cards if I can find them. So I have got some olive and Rococo Rose, Melon Mambo, and I've got the Petal Pink as well. So let's have a look. So these are just standard A6 cards. So that, obviously you could layer them, you could double layer those up. So what you might want to do, for example, is if you want to have a look and see how anything looks, is you could put that onto there and then that onto there, and then have a look at this area here to see how that looks. But as it's coffee and card, I'm just going to do single layers. So that's going to be one. Let's see. Going to do that one with the green, and then I've got a Melon Mambo here. I might try it on the pink, actually, Petal Pink. Put that one on there, yes. so. And I've just got Mambo left, so let's do that on there. Okay, so let's pop some sentiments on and put those all together. So it's just after 10:30, so that is 4 cards. I know I haven't done the sentiments yet, but 4 cards in half an hour. Now if I was trying to do one of these cards, it would probably take me half an hour. So it does make it, you know, it's a really good way of making multiple cards, especially if there's, you know, a colour combination that you like. So let's pop some sentiments onto there. So I think, let's have a look. I've got a little thinking of you there, but I think it could go with a longer one. So I'm going to do Always Thinking of You from Very Versailles. That's that one there, which is very appropriate at the moment, isn't it? We can send, you know, let's get sending cards to people. That, and I think, thank you, Kim. What colour am I going to do? I think I'm going to do Early Espresso. It's one of my favourite colours for sentiments. So just inking that up, move those cards out of the way. Just going to pop that up on the right hand side, like so. Obviously you could stamp on a separate piece of card if you wished. So that's that one, and that's going to go onto there. Now you could also obviously stamp the inside and stamp this top corner, but the whole idea of the one sheet wonder is it's one sheet and you just get X amount of cards out. So let's pop this one down. There we go. So as I say, if you're doing this at home and sending a special card, you might want to layer those up a few times. But that's one. Actually, what I might do as I'm here is stamp those roses on the inside. So I'm just going to use your cocoa rose and those little rosebuds. Let me pop my sheet underneath. And I like the fact that these have shading already built in. Just going to pop that one in there, like that. And also you could do your envelope as well. You can see that one. Okay. Running out of space now. Okay, let's have a look for this one. So that one's going to come down from the top. And let me see. Could do with something quite large in there, couldn't I? Thank you, Lynn. I'm thinking You Are Wonderful would be nice in there, or Thinking of You. This would be a nice set to use. Oh, good, Babsy, because you've got those really nice leaves and that root. And you've got these and these leaves. So maybe tomorrow I'll do Rooted in Nature as my sample, because I think they would look really nice. However, I'm still looking for the stamp set. Is it too scary? Oh dear. Right. Sorry. This would also be another one with these little flowers too. I'm going to do that nice big happy birthday. And this would be good as well for adding little dots. You know, if you've got anything with, you know, shading or anything. You need to give it a go, Lynn. I did it for the first time yesterday and I absolutely love it. I really do. So we did it in our team session. So I think there was 5 of us that were crafting along. Babsy's crafting along now. Right, here is my happy birthday. And I think I might do this in pink. Let me make sure I've got that straight. So let me switch out for Melon Mambo. So Linda did some crafting with Grania over Zoom last night. It's lovely that we've got the technology to be able to craft together and show each other what we're doing. It's hard if you're isolated and on your own. Okay, yes, I'm happy with that. So just tapping all the way over. Just going to put that down so it's equidistant from each of the edges, hopefully. There we go. Oh, Baz is crafting and watching. Sue has joined us. Welcome, Sue. So I had that on a green, but I'm not sure. I won't switch that to Mambo. Now I've done that. Let's have your opinions, guys. I think it looks better on the pink. Any other opinions? Because I did originally pick out the green, but I think now I put Happy Birthday in Melon Mambo. What do you reckon? Green. The pink. Good. Thank you, guys. So I'm just going to layer that up. So I'm just using single layer cards here. So the whole idea is that, you know, relatively quick and simple. But if you're doing a special card for somebody, then I would definitely add a couple of layers. Jacqueline's gone for green. Everybody else has gone for pink. Sorry. You could add a few layers. You could add a layer of vellum behind. Green for... Oh, sorry, everybody. Tara did a great live video this morning on colouring in vellums. So you can find her at Tara Fowler Crafting. There we go, that's that one. 2 down, 2 to go. We're going to have that one that way. Yes, I think so. Yep. Or like that. No, the leaves are in the wrong direction. I need to put something over there. Just want to do that because I can still see that edge. So let's have that little curly thing. The sort of middles. Oop. And I'm going to use petal pink. Hi Julie. Julie has just joined us. Right, I'm just going to, because this is quite nondescript. I know it's a centre of a flower, but it's quite nondescript in a light colour. So I'm just going to use that to fill in. So you can't see what it is, but it doesn't matter in the slightest. So yes, I'm going to use Rooted in Nature tomorrow then, something different. I could do an autumn card or a man's card, couldn't I? Alright, so this one is going on Cocoa Rose, like that. And I'm looking for actually So Sentimental. That's the stamp set I want. And it's because I put it away in the box for my class. So I'm thinking, I Can't Thank You Enough would work, or Your Friendship is a Blessing. That's the wrong sort of shape really. Your Friendship is a Blessing, I think I'm going to put in there. Perfect. So as you can see, it's taking me longer to put the cards together than it is to make the basic design. Alright, let me make sure I've got that straight. That's nothing like straight, is it? Right, let's see what that looks like. Now, what colour am I going to ink that up in? Rococo Rose to match, do we think? So it matches the base card. Let's have a look-see. Oh, bless you, Linda. It's just so nice, isn't it? It's just such fun. But don't be put off when you do your very first one. Just wait until you've cut everything up, because it's, you know, as you could see from my one, I wasn't really happy with it to start with. But I'm happy with it now. I just want to make sure that that is straight to the block before I stamp it on my card. Obviously you can put it on a die cut. Yep, that's close enough. So this is Rococo Rose, so I'm just picking out the colour of the card. As you know, that's one of the great things about Stampin' Up, is that everything all coordinates. Like so. So Linda's going to give this a go when she's up. Looks like Lynn's going to give it a go. So this one opens on the side, like so. Yep, like that one. So just a bit of snail again. I say you could use tear tape, you could use your, you know, whatever your preferred glue is really. Just making sure it's going up into the corners. It doesn't need a great deal otherwise. There we go. Yes, for those of you that know Linda, she always says to me, I don't do florals. Don't like floral things. And the number of times we've had classes, it's she's loved what she's done. There we go. And then the last one is this one here. So, oh, let's stamp it first. We're going to have a go too. Brilliant. Yeah, it's just, I really would recommend it. I'll show you the other ones, Jacqueline, that I did earlier. So I think I've got enough birthdays. I do need a thank you. Top up my card stash. So let's see if I Can't Thank You Enough will fit in nicely. Yep, it will. This is a lovely sentiment. Wishing you much happiness today and always. Great birthday sentiment. Also a good wedding sentiment or an anniversary sentiment. Right, put this on there. And I'm going to do Mambo, I think. Because I've got the Mellow Mambo here and I've got the Mellow Mambo card. So I think that's what I'm going to do for that sentiment. Either that or espresso, my go-to. For those of you that know me. Oh no, I started with an A4. Just an A4. I'll show you in a minute, Linda, because I've got one that I've cut up but not done anything with. You could do it with the 12 by 12, but it would just be slightly different in terms of the how you'd cut it. So I will show you. So I can't thank you enough. Just bring that over a little bit like that. Oh, postman's just been. That's always good. There we go. They would make a lovely set actually. I'm just going to put a flower on that corner just so it mimics this one here. And that is Rococo Rose. It would be a lovely set. You could use one of our acetate boxes that take really up to 6 cards. You could stamp the envelopes as well. So they really would make a nice gift set. And then you could have different sentiments on each one, couldn't you? So you could have, you know, like 4 birthday or 3 birthday and a thank you and a congratulations and whatever. There we go. And obviously you could stamp the insides as well. You could go all out. Add ribbon if you wished, but I quite like these as they're simple, single layers. Cheap, well, not cheap to post, but less expensive to post than one with lots of embellishments on. There we go. So if anybody's making some or make some this afternoon, please do pop a photo on my Jemini Crafts page. We'd love to see what you made. Okay, just turn that over. Do that. Okay, let me show you my 4 finished ones. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think they went like that. Yep, that's how they went. So 4 finished cards. Yeah, exactly good for posting. So that's those ones. Let me show you, Linda, how we started. So I had a sheet of A4 card. Let me move these out of the way. Oops. And it's difficult to tell now how I did this one. So these ones I did all over. So you can see how those came together. Oh, that's that one there. Like so, and like so. So you can see roughly where they were. Oh, thank you, Babsy. So these ones are stamped all over because I wanted a different design and I was going to put die cuts on. And I've used Very Versailles and then a little bit of the Healing Hugs. So I stamped that all of the way over and then cut it into quarters and then just cut off the bits to make the cards that I wanted. So that's those. So one last thing I'm going to try, because I appreciate time is moving on, is just stamping on some patterned paper. So this is from, I need to check the name of it. I think this is the paper you were asking me about, Linda, the other day. Woven Threads, which has got these lovely purple posy and terracotta tile in it. I'm sure that's what you were asking me the other day. So I'm just going to cut off a piece and do a bit of stamping just to see what it looks like on a piece of background. So I'm just going to do one, although I could do 2, but I'll just do 1 for time, just so you can see. So let me just cut this to size to start with, just because I'm going to do it fairly quickly. So this is going to be 9.5 by 14.8, 30, yes, 13.8, sorry, centimetres. Thank you. There we are. So just to see what it looks like, because you've got the coloured background, obviously you'll get a different look altogether. So let us just try with some of these fab flowers. So these are from Beautiful Friendship. If you haven't got this stamp set, I definitely recommend you get it. It's £20. You've got this lovely hydrangea. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, Linda. Hydrangea, roses, flowers, you've got centres, you've got a little one, you've got those rosebuds, and some nice sentiments as well. Big congratulations and best wishes, so that could be for anything. So yeah, Woven Threads is still available, Linda. Let's just stamp this really quickly. So not really in the One Sheet Wonder design, but just to show you that you don't have to use white card. This would also be nice if you did it on Very Vanilla. If you want to make it look vintagey, then don't use white. Use our Very Vanilla. Oh, I forgot the block again. Where did I put my mat? There it is. So because this is quite a big stamp and it's photopolymer and I'm working on a very hard surface, you can get this problem where it doesn't fill out the whole stamp. So I can just stamp over it and push that down to add the ink on. Okay, I'm just gonna, no, I'm not going to do it again because I just want to, might do that one in the corner though. So slightly different look, obviously, when it's like this. So I'm just going to put another one in the corner. So this one I'm actually sort of designing it. Oh yes, Jacqueline, that's a great idea. So once you've stamped them, you could run them through an embossing folder. Now this would look lovely on the subtle embossing folder because it would look like linen. What a brilliant idea. I might have to do that. Thank you, Jacqueline. Great idea. And so I'm just going to add some of these. So it's much harder to design this as a single card, whereas before I was just, as you saw, just merrily stamping. And that's because the focus is taken off the actual single design, if that makes any sense. But hopefully I will get something working. I'm going to put a little bit here at the top. So this is on our Woven Threads paper, but you could use any designer paper. There we go. Let's add the little rose in Mambo. Just going to have that. You could have it in the centre actually, like that. Doubling it up as a double rose, like so. And now I need to just balance that with a bit of other colour. So I am going to use soft suede, I think. Which I have here, or not? What's I do? Soft suede. And let's have that little set of 3 leaves. So the only thing with this is to make sure you put all your stamps back at the end. So don't be putting your cases away in between, otherwise you won't know whether you're coming or going. So this is just in the background. This is actually almost the same as the Woven Threads. Let's put one in there, like so. Yes, you're right, Linda. Sometimes things come together right at the end as well, don't they? And it would look nice on there in espresso. Let me find my espresso colour. and I'm going to wrap up. So I would definitely recommend you give this technique a go. So it's a one sheet wonder, and the tutorial you can, that's the wrong one, the tutorial you can find on Artful Stampin by Ruth Trice. So you can look her up. Now she also has a very talented sister called Esther, and she does similar sorts of things, so you can follow both of them. There we go. That's that. I'm just going to add a little bit of I'm just going to add a little bit of this. Yeah, good idea, Linda. So if you're not feeling brave enough to do it on an A4, blank piece of card, then definitely take some designer paper, fairly light, and then stamp on that, because you've got a background to start with, but you want something fairly subtle in the background. I think that's going to go onto a Rococo Rose card, but I'm really, really pleased with that too. Like so. So no colouring in, just straight stamping. So that's that one there. I'll pop that on a Rococo Rose, or I might put it on Early Espresso card and put that in the photos, and then I'll just show you the ones. These are the ones I made earlier this morning. So always thinking of you, a nice bright happy birthday, a friendship one, and I can't thank you enough. And then these are the ones I did last night. So for anybody who joined us a bit later, there's this one here. Birthdays are the best days. So these are Coastal Cabana, a bit of blue, a bit of espresso. Happy to know you. Birthdays are the best days. Thank you. And I think that one is my favourite. That one there. So yeah, definitely go and find Ruth Trice, and you can tell her I sent you. I did check with her that it was all right to cover this in a coffee and card, because it's very much her style. So thanks for joining me today. I shall be back again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So I am going to do the same thing, a one sheet wonder, but I am going to do it with Rooted in Nature, to do some men's cards, but in the same style. So I hope that's useful. You can subscribe to my mailing list on the left hand side of my Facebook page if you want to be kept up to date with everything that's going on. I also have available my new Class in a Box, which is a postal service, which includes a class tutorial on YouTube and all the content in a box to make a minimum of 8 cards, but you'll have plenty left over. So if you're interested in that, you can have a look through my Jemini Crafts Facebook page, or just send me a message. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Look after each other, look after yourself. Stay safe and keep crafting. Bye all. Sorry Julia, I'm just wrapping up, so you'll need to catch it on replay. I do apologise. Take care now. Bye bye.